So it's been about a week since my last video. I did one with the YouTube video editor. I'm never using that thing again because it kind of sucked. And then I also loaded, or I don't know exactly how that worked with YouTube not really releasing the Thanksgiving Santa Mouse video until I approved it, but it's on there way fucking late. Anyway, Daniel wanted another one, because he likes watching these things, so I'm going to make another one. However, I didn't have anything to talk about, really. I guess I could reinforce the fact that I'm getting married on the 20th, for those of you who didn't watch the other one. The 20th. That's 6 days. It's kind of surreal that I'm getting married, so I never thought I would, but I'm getting married, and it's really weird. It's hard for me to not call Daniel my boyfriend, because he's my fiance. We are engaged. And I was supposed to get my ring back today, but I didn't, because it didn't come in. They said 7 days last week on Wednesday, and I don't think the weekends are included, which means that I don't get it back till Friday, technically. But I want it back, and I'm so excited to have it back. But so I asked him for some things to talk about, and he told me to talk about how my perfect house would look inside and out, which is a really hard one for me, because just like my tastes in about everything, they're all over the place. As far as the outside of a house is concerned, I really like log cabin style stuff, but I also like modern, and I like Victorian, and I like English, and it's just, everywhere. I'm happy in any house, honestly, as long as there's 4 walls and a roof. Perfect house. I really like Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect. I think my favorite house of his was the Waterfall House. I don't even know if that's what it's really called, but it's basically a house over top of a waterfall. It's my favorite house ever. So I'd say modern is more my style, because it's what Frank Lloyd Wright did a lot of. Lots of windows, open space. I love natural lighting, so definitely lots of windows no matter what kind of house it is, which doesn't really fit in well with a cottage, English, Victorian style. It's definitely more modern. Open concept for the interior. Open floor plan. I love open floor plans because I'm a huge fan of space. I really like outdoor showers. So my perfect house has an outdoor shower. When I worked at the New York Renaissance Fair, they had shower houses that were outside, obviously, kind of, sort of. Basically, it was just like a stall door that went into a shower, and you can close the curtain if you wanted to, but more often than not, I just left the curtain wide open, because the door closed, and it locked, so why not leave the curtain open? And it was really cool, kind of showering in the outdoors. I got to feel the breeze if there was one, and whatnot, so it was really sweet. I love the idea of outdoor showers. And that's really about it. Like, those are the only things I really, like, that's the one thing I really want is an outdoor shower. Obviously, I love fireplaces. Who doesn't love a fireplace? Like, seriously? They're amazing, so I want them all over the place. And I really like stairs, even though I don't like going up them. I just like the way they look. Going upstairs kind of sucks, but I love the way they look. I actually have a Pinterest for, like, all this stuff of things that I want in a house, and stairs are definitely a big one. I like use of making space. So things like cabinets and whatnot under staircases is a big thing for me. I don't even know. I like black granite countertops. They're really pretty. I like darker colors when it comes to that stuff. So like black granite countertops, black appliances. I'm not a huge fan of white in a house. Color is where it's at. All the colors. I used to want to be an interior decorator, and I still kind of would love to do that, but I don't know if I would be creative enough, so to speak. So the fact that he and I are moving into a house, apartment, whatever, we're moving into our own space, and it's basically a blank slate, I'm super excited. Anytime I move somewhere new, I'm like, yes, I get to be an interior designer for this one space for half a second or whatever. I definitely like painting rooms. I'm actually pretty good at it. Like I said, interior decorating in general is just something I'm really interested in. Maybe I'll be an interior decorator, not really, no. It's like a side hobby with friends and family and whatnot. This is a really hard one for me to talk about. I told him it would be a long video because I have so many tastes, but I just have so many tastes that I don't know where to start. It's kind of weird. Like, when I was younger, one of my best friends, and I would actually design floor plans on grid paper because we were nerds. More often than not, I designed barns. Just whatever. I would absolutely adore living above a barn. Like, I think that would be amazing. Like, below is like a 12-stall horse barn, and above is your house. That's just so cool to me. Like, sleeping above your horse. Maybe it's because I've been riding since I was 5 years old, but it's just an awesome thing I would absolutely love to do maybe one day. I don't know. I hope to have, obviously in the endeavors that I want to do with my life and what I want to do with my career, I'm going to have a farm at some point to do physical therapy with horses. So maybe in the space above the barn, I'll create like a clubhouse or rent out space or use it for a barn manager to live in so they can live on campus, and I don't really have to do a whole lot of the barn management stuff because no one likes the work that comes with owning a farm. They just like owning a farm. But that'd be really cool. Personally, I think it'd be just awesome. I don't know where to even go with this whole thing, and people are texting me and they won't stop. Who is this? Alexis and Daniel. Yeah. This isn't nearly as long nor as fun as I thought it would be. I'm currently being super classy. I'm drinking boxed wine from my reusable plastic blue Solo cup. Bottoms up. But yeah. I know, my entire week has been kind of weird. I wasn't on the schedule this week, like, at all. Didn't have any shifts until Thursday or Friday. I think Thursday I picked up a cashier shift for tomorrow at 2:30. And then on Friday I talked to one of my managers and told him, and he pulled me, okay, so he pulls me aside and is like, hey, I need to talk to you about your availability. It's like, okay, my availability at work is wide open, like, open to close, and not even, like, store open. I mean, like, truck gets there open to close. And the trucks get there at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, 4 a.m. until 11 p.m. when the store closes. That's my availability. No questions asked. Many different workstations, because I know so many workstations at work. So he pulls me into an office and closes the door, and I'm like, why does this need to be a closed-door conversation? You're just asking me my availability, aren't you? But he just confirms what my plan is. He's like, so what's going on? I was like, well, I'm getting married on the 20th, so the 19th to the 21st, I'm not here. I will be in North Carolina. But aside from those 3 days, my availability is wide open until about mid-February, possibly later. Just depends how paperwork with the Army goes. He's like, okay, I was just making sure. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, a bit of a closed-door conversation about this, but whatever. And, he's like, would you be willing to take some shifts next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 a.m. to work the truck? Because one of the guys that we used to have on the team quit kind of randomly, which is weird. I liked Paul. He's a very older gentleman. He was really nice, though. I don't know the reasons for him quitting, but he left, so I picked up his shifts. So I went from having no hours to, like, 35 hours in a matter of 2 days, which was cool. It's always nice to have work, because it's awesome getting paid when you have bills and stuff, and you're getting married. But I forget where I was going with this train of thought. Wine will do that to you, so now it's funny. But, so this week has been kind of, that's where I was going. This week has been a little bit up and down, because my schedule hasn't been solid, so to speak. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go in at 4, so I've been in at 4. Friday, I go in at 4. Tuesday, I went in at 7 to 1 and did price change, and tomorrow I go in at 2:30 to 6:30 in cashier. I just don't know. I finally got a hold of the Target down in Fayetteville, their HR, and they seemed excited to, for me to come down because I can do so many things and work so many different workstations. However, when I talked to my HR about it today, she seemed a little confused because she said that the first she'd ever heard about me wanting to transfer was when they emailed her about it. which I swear is not the first time she ever heard about it, because just about everybody there knows my plan was to work there and then transfer down to Fayetteville. I did not think it would be this soon. I honestly thought I wouldn't be transferring until like July or August. But you get married, shit happens. Especially when you're married into the military, I suppose. Either way, so she's like, well, we'll have to talk to Aaron, who is my direct manager, about it and see what we can do. And I'm only slightly concerned about it. This can either go really easy or it can go slightly difficult. I have this uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach that it's going to go slightly difficult, and I really don't want it to go that way. I just want this to be smooth. I want this to be easy. I just want it to go without a hitch, essentially. Because last year for me was full of hitches. 2015 needs to be free of hitches, or minimal hitches. Either way, it'll be interesting. So I'm setting up this transfer to go down to Fayetteville as soon as possible. Probably about mid-February is what I am aiming for. Early March is my absolute latest. So we will see. But even then, it kind of also sort of depends on housing and what Daniel and I end up doing. We still haven't decided about on-post or off-post. Obviously, on-post, he doesn't get any BAH. It all goes straight to paper housing, that's fine. It's free. I'm not going to complain about free housing. I don't have to worry about rent. I don't have to worry about bills unless we go over the allotted amount, which shouldn't, because he loves cold and I can always put on layers, so it's okay with me. Off-base posting, obviously, you have to worry about... do you have to worry about credit approval with that stuff? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never done this with someone else paying for my rent before. Because, do they run credit on the Army? Because the Army's got great credit. Okay, no, they don't have... The government doesn't have the best credit, I'm sure. I'm sure they got okay credit. But, I don't know what goes on with that. My biggest concern was if Daniel reclasses. Essentially, if he reclasses, he picks a new job and he could be stationed anywhere in the world. Well, not anywhere, because there's sometimes his own bases. Anyway, there is a U.S. duty station. He could be based. If we were on off-post housing and 6 months in he got moved, we'd have to break a contract, and that's never a good thing. But someone let me know that if the Army PCSs you, you don't have to suffer any repercussions for breaking a contract, which is nice. So then, now my only concern is Athena, because she's a pit bull, and so many people don't like pit bulls. And I don't understand why, because she is, quite honestly, the sweetest dog I've ever met in my life. Like, I tell everyone who asks if she's nice, I'm like, of course she's nice. People have the potential to have food. That's all she cares about, is if you have food. And if you don't have food, she's not interested anymore. It's whatever to her. So my biggest concern is somewhere I can take Athena, because she is technically a vicious breed. Even though I don't think... If fleas didn't bug her, she wouldn't harm a flea. But they bug her, so she bothered fleas. She doesn't have fleas anymore, though. So she doesn't bother them anymore. Wine. In a blue cup. So, that's my only concern now, is taking Athena. I don't even care if there's not like a fenced-in backyard or a fenced yard or whatever. Because I don't have a fenced yard here. I go out with her. Sometimes I take her on a leash. Like when it's dark out, I take her on a leash. When it's not dark out, I don't take her on a leash. And she listens to me, so it's okay. Obviously, if I'm in a neighborhood, I'm gonna, for the first couple, weeks, maybe month, I might take her on a leash. But either way, I don't mind having to take her out on a leash. It's no big deal to me. When I lived in Lexington, sometimes I wouldn't even take her on a leash. But she was also really little then, so it's a little bit different now. Excuse me. But, so yeah, she's my number one concern. We'll see about that. I don't know what else to say. I was talking about houses, and I was talking about rings, and now I'm talking about moving, and I am all over the place right now. And I am blaming it on the wine. Which, whatever. Can't wait to do these kind of vlogs and actually have a video camera and not a webcam, because then I can actually update out in the world and show you my life. Because my life is about to get all kinds of crazy. Get married in 6 days. and then I moved back to North Carolina, and I moved in with my husband. I don't think you all quite understand how much of a mind fuck that is to me. It's just... I swear I'm not drunk. But this has effectively been about a 15-minute video of me talking about nothing, so I'm just gonna end it here while I still have some dignity and I haven't completely bored everybody, I'm sure. No, I'm positive I've bored some people and they've stopped watching like 10 minutes ago. But there might be something soon, later. Maybe when I get my ring back, you'll see how excited I am to get it back. I don't know, and I'll actually show everybody. Even though I think I showed everybody after I got it. Not close. You might get up close, not really, because it's nothing special. I mean, it's special to me, but... Okay, I'm done rambling now. Bye, everybody.